A note on private equity and securities. So, how does private equity securities work? This is an introduction. So, typically, if you want to avoid an entrepreneur to not run away with your money, as if you have invested your hard-earned money as an investor into an early stage company, you don't want your entrepreneur to just run away with your money. Let's take an example. Let's say you invested $100 into a company, and the entrepreneur sold the company for $50, right? And let's say they had was a slide deck on which they raised $100 from you, went to someone else, sold it for $50. You just lost $50 overnight, right? And so there are many ways in which money can be lost. And so that's where there are things like the preferred stock, which is very different than the common stock. Common stock, there is very limited capabilities that it has, but preferred stock, it it comes with a face value. It has a face value of that says, hey, this is how much I invested. Let's say I get $100 worth of preferred stock instead of $100 worth of common stock. I also get a fixed percentage dividend, which says, hey, I will get at a predetermined time or a predetermined price, I will get this dividend. So preferred stock basically ensures that you as a preferred stockholder have the first right towards those dividends or have the first right towards payout if the company is sold. So if my entrepreneur was to sell my company for $50 first, that first $50 will get to me before it gets to them because I'm the investor and I have a preferred stock. So there are various types of preferred stock and each of them have different capabilities. So let's look at some of them. Straight preferred stock is basically a stock that has a preference towards dividends being paid out to you as an investor, but it never converts into equity. So it's think about this as a debt instrument of some sort where you pay money, you get a face value that says you get, if I pay $100 to you as an entrepreneur, I get $100 worth of straight preferred stock with promised a certain percentage dividend that gives me return on my investments. Redeemable preferred stock is very different. It has everything that the straight preferred stock has, plus once it has much more, which is it also has this other aspect. So let's take it has the other aspect of a common stock. So it not only gives you dividends, but it also gives you an option to get the face value back, right? Which is what the straight preferred has, but also keeps your investment as is. So if I give you $100, invested $100 in you, I'm an investor. If I get $100 redeemable preferred stock, I will get my $100 back because that's the quality of a straight preferred with all the dividends. Plus, I will get $100 worth of common stock in your company. So think about this as it has two positives. I'll get my face value, but I also maintain my investment. So as if I just doubled my money. If the common stock is worth $100, the common stock can be worth maybe $10, it could be worth $1,000 for the stocks that I got. But you get the part, which is you get your face value plus the dividends, plus you get the same equivalent version of the common stock based on the share price. So redeemable preferred has two benefits. Convertible preferred takes away some of the redeemable benefits, right? It says, hey, you can convert your preferred stock to common stock if the common stock value was much higher, or you can get the face value of the preferred stock, but one of the two. You can't have best of both, right? So convertible preferred is basically saying, hey, you can decide if the face value is higher when you want to redeem or the common stock value is higher, so you can convert. So you get the max of either the face value or the common stock. Again, dividends is part of all of these. So assume dividends you'll keep getting, right? So dividends plus max value of either the face value of the preferred stock or the common stock equivalent. participating convertible preferred stock. Think about this as until the company gets to IPO, you get to behave like a redeemable preferred, meaning you get the dividends, you have an option to be part of all of the fundraising. So if you go from Series A to Series B to Series C, you can continue to increase your value as a redeemable preferred. But when it goes to an IPO, it becomes a convertible preferred. So think about participating convertible preferred as the combination of redeemable preferred until you become the IPO, and becomes convertible preferred at the time of the IPO. So you have to choose at what stage you are. So if you get participating convertible preferred, you get the upside of all of the funding rounds, private funding rounds, but then at some point it becomes convertible preferred. Again, dividends is same. Cumulative preferred, so think about this. Company can decide at any point saying, hey, we need cash, we're not going to give out money to our shareholders in terms of dividends. But if they do give out, the preferred stockholders have a priority over common stock. But if they don't give out, if they don't give out, let's say they give out dividends every quarter and they missed out the last 3 quarters, but then the 4th quarter they said, hey, I'm going to give out the dividends. For those holders who are cumulative preferred stock owners, they get on the 4th time, they get the combination of 1, 2, and 3 that were missed. They get it all cumulative on the 4th period. Much better than the straight preferred, right? Straight preferred saying, hey, if you give out dividends, you're going to give it out to me first. Cumulative preferred saying, hey, whatever I missed out, you're going to give all of that to me. Callable preferred. So if a company issues callable preferred, they're basically saying, hey, I can buy that stock back from you at any point, because let's say I don't want to pay you dividends anymore, or I cannot afford to pay. So all I will do is I will call back or buy back all my preferred callable stock and be done with paying out dividends to preferred stockholders. So there are so many variations, but the key thing to take away from this is that this is a mechanism where you can prevent, if you have a preferred stock, you can prevent your entrepreneur to do bad things or to take major risks or to sell company in a way that impacts the primary investor. So really important ways in which preferred stock can be used. But there are 2 other ways. First is vesting schedule. So if for your entrepreneur, you could have like a 4 years vesting schedule where not every stock that they own is vested. Maybe it's vests every quarter, every month, maybe after the 1st year. So you can have a vesting schedule in which portions of their stocks get vested, and they get vested until the value is actually created. So you get a chance to see if they are creating the value from the money that they've taken from you, and they only get a portion of the stock to sell if it's their own. But without the vesting schedule, if you assume everything that the entrepreneur has is vested, then they have very little incentive to actually create the value. Same for employees, right? They have vesting schedules so that the company can ensure that the employee stays focused at work, creates value, contributes back. Also, you can think about this as golden handcuffs, right? If the company is doing well, then vesting schedules also, the vesting schedules overall valuation of the stocks that are given, potential stocks that the employee can own, are going to increase in value. So vesting schedule also has an incentive, the right incentive for the employees to do hard work. And then the last part is the do's and don'ts, or covenants, right? Where you can have contract that signs that, hey, you can't do these things like merge your equity with some other private equity. You can't transfer ownership or control ownership. You can't fire key people, because venture investors are betting on people in the early stages. They can also force liquidity that says, hey, I don't think you're doing the right job for the money that you've taken from me. I can even force you to, I want my money back. So they can even put in all of these contracts that says, hey, these are the things you can do. You need my approvals for making purchase decisions beyond a certain percentage or certain dollar value. So there are many, many ways in which financing and terms can be used to make sure that your money is used in the right way. So that was a good 101 introduction to private equity, securities, and venture financing. Thanks.